Hello everyone, welcome to another installment of Erinn's Book Club. So, I'm kind of stuck here waiting for some repairmen to show up for our bathtub, and I thought I would use the time to finish reading a book so I can do a book review for you guys. You'll have to forgive the lighting, I haven't figured out a really good spot to put my beat up old phone yet, but the book review that I'm going to do today is The Renegades of Pern by Anne McCaffrey, and apparently this is the first time it was in paperback. And again, it's one of those Pern novels, but it's not focused on the dragons. It's focused on the men and women who support the dragons, basically. And I had a different feeling about it. In the end, and again, spoiler, I guess, warning. None of my reviews are spoiler-free. I just like talking about the book. So if you haven't read the book, please go back and read it and come back. If not, you've been warned. But in the end of the book, it kind of lost the magic of what is Pern. The inhabitants had landed so far away from when the original landing people of Pern were that those original people were called ancients. And there was a mystery about how they arrived and how they survived, and the people that were living now look back at those kind of individuals, and a lot of the things they take for granted they look at like magical, and I really enjoyed that mythos of it, and I wasn't prepared for some of that to be taken away. I don't think that it's a bad thing, it's just I wasn't prepared for it to get as modern as it did, especially with the back. When you read the back, let me read the back to you. As long as the people of Pern could remember, the holds had protected them from thread, the deadly silver strands that fell from the sky in exchange for sanctuary in the huge stone fortresses. The people tied the lord holders, who in turn supported the dragon riders, Pern's greatest weapon against thread. But not everyone on Pern was protected. Some had been rendered holdless as punishment for wrongdoing. Some, like Jake's family, like Jake's traitor clan, simply preferred the freedom of the roads to the sanctuary of a hold. Others, like Armina's family, had lost their holds, and they all feared the outlaws who preyed upon holds and holdless alike. Lady Thalia's renegades were the most dangerous yet. All they needed was Armina, whose telepathic link with dragons could help them evade the dragon rider patrols. But Jag was out to stop Thalia, and he would never let her have Armania. And the first part of the book was about that. The first part of the book was building the villain Thalia, and she came from, unlike most villains who come from a suppressed atmosphere where they're not treated fairly, she came from like a holder's daughter who had everything that she ever wanted, was spoiled rotten, and she was psychopathically evil. She really made you think back to the very first book on the landing, when there was that one woman who all she wanted was the gems and to get back to Earth or something, and it was the same kind of evil there, I get what I want no matter what. So that villain was really well done, and the people that were created to counteract her were really well done, and the story was well written. But it's weird because that story was done and over with before half of the book was done, and then you kind of focused on dragons and the politics of dragons. And then, near the end of the book, she attacks again, and the politics of dragons come into view. And it was funny because there was part of it that I really got angry about. Like, Thalia had attacked them and tied up two of the main characters, and the dragon rider friend had come and untied him. But when he asked for more help, the dragon rider refused, saying that it was against their codes and they can't help, they can't step in. But then when they came after the fight and the leader of the main wearer came and heard about everything and punished the one person for helping, she then expected to be given proper food and proper rest and catered to, even though she's refusing to help the people. And I don't think that there should be a refusing to help the people, even if it risks your dragon. I know that was their main point. You can't risk your dragon because you need it for Threadfall. But you need it for Threadfall to save the people of Pern. So, one way or the other, you are risking your dragon for the people of Pern. So if the people of Pern need you, and there's somebody who's a renegade, who is a known villain, who is a known evil human being, who has killed the next dragon rider, if that person attacks a hold, you're not allowed to help? Like, it took a lot of that magic away from the Dragon Riders. It took a lot of that chivalry away from the Dragon Riders. The Dragon Riders are supposed to be for the people. Not when you choose, but for the people. And Thalia relinquished her for the people option when she started attacking other people. I don't know, it got me riled up, but all in all, really enjoyed the book. I'm going to look into the next one to read, and I will go into another book. I will let you know when I have another book read, guys. Thanks so much for listening.